because for some odd reason, yes, I would love for Ziggler to win it, but for some odd reason, I think Alberto is going to somehow sneak away with the World Heavyweight title. That's my opinion. Now, John Cena versus Mark Henry. Let me give you my opinion on that. A quick opinion is quite simple. Mark Henry wins the WWE Championship. Why? Quite simple. To me, I like John Cena, but we can all agree on this when I say it's about time for John Cena to turn heel. Why? Because to me, he's starting to become boring. He's not as good as what he used to be. He's not as funny as what he used to be. I think that title needs to be stripped from him immediately. Because, you know, I can give you all my status quo of John Cena, but I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's good at what he does. But to me, he's just not interesting anymore. I mean, that's what my opinion is, and I think other people have the same opinion too. Nonetheless, John Cena is going to go one-on-one against Mark Henry for the WWE Championship, and Mark Henry, even though he's had many opportunities at the WWE Championship, this will actually be the first time for me to see Mark Henry go after a major championship, and hopefully he wins it like he did the World Heavyweight title. Randy Orton, when he took on Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship, a lot of people didn't think Mark Henry was going to win or beat Randy Orton nonetheless. But when I saw that entire matchup against Randy Orton versus Mark Henry for the world title at Night of Champions, wow. Mark Henry made a statement. He came in, World's Strongest Slam, took down the Viper, and became the World Heavyweight Champion. Do you think Mark Henry has an opportunity to do it again? Or is he going to lose to John Cena like everyone else has in the past? And let me also get this one other part out, because I know some people want my opinion on that whole retirement thing that Mark Henry did. To me, hey, I'm not going to say I saw it coming, but at the same time, I really thought he was going to retire. But then again, I kept saying to myself, wait a minute, Mark Henry's got to do something. I mean, come on, he's got to give us one more match. And more importantly, I think this is a fluke. I think this is bullshit. I think Mark Henry's just pulling the little strings off of us and everything. And he did. He did. Kudos to Mark Henry. He did it. He pulled it off. He got everybody believing that he was going to retire. He got everybody believing that he was invincible and all this other crap. And you know what? It worked. So Mark Henry now has an opportunity to take on John Cena for the WWE Championship. And like I said, I'm going to go for Mark Henry. I like John Cena, but I'm going to go with the World's Strongest Man, because I believe it'll be Mark Henry's time to finally achieve something that he hasn't achieved in a long time, and that's to become the WWE Champion. I hope it happens for Mark Henry at Money in the Bank, July 14th on pay-per-view. Now, time to leave the last, but certainly not least part, the Money in the Bank ladder matches, both the SmackDown and the Raw one. Let's talk about the SmackDown one, okay? Let's see who is on this one in particular. Let's see, we got Dustin Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro. Let's see. I almost forgot this guy. Say it with me now. Fandango. Oh, God. Anyways, Fandango. And Wade Barrett, he's in there also. And Dean Ambrose. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen a Money in the Bank ladder match where it concludes all bad guys. That's crazy, right? All bad guys in this whole Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, in some particular cases, this would be considered a boring match. I expect that to be the first match on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But in the process, who do I want to win? Let's see. Fandango, get him out of there. He doesn't have a chance. Let's see. Damian Sandow. Let's move on. Dustin Rhodes, I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes. Why did I say Dustin Rhodes for? God damn, I must have had too much to drink or something. Jesus Christ. But anyways, Cody Rhodes. To me, an individual that does need to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match and does need to be the World Heavyweight Champion. To me, a superstar that's been overlooked, overshadowed, and everything. It's about time for Cody Rhodes to get out of the whole Team Rhodes scholar and start thinking about himself. He needs to do that, because if he doesn't, his career will be done. No disrespect. Anyways, let's see, who else was in there that was talking about Jack Swagger, who was also a former World Heavyweight Champion. He won his Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 26. He would be somewhat of a favorite in some way, any way possible. Antonio Cesaro, another great wrestler as well, former United States Heavyweight Champion. I really don't think he'll win it. I think he'll, play out in the Money in the Bank ladder match. We'll see what happens. Let's see, Wade Barrett. To me, I am dying for Wade Barrett to go up there and become the top man in this business. To me, Wade Barrett will always be a man that will be overlooked, that will be overshadowed, because to me, he's a great athlete. He's a tremendous performer. And to me, he needs to be in the World Heavyweight title match, as far as I'm concerned. And my pick, my favorite pick of them all, everyone's going to hate me for this, but at the same time, I don't care what you think, because to me, the man that everyone is going to pick on Money in the Bank, the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match, is Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, the United States Heavyweight Champion. You know something? Dean Ambrose as the United States Heavyweight Champion, to me, he is the better United States Champion. He's better than Kofi Kingston. He's better than Santino Marella. He's better than Jack Swagger. He's better than any of the last 5, even Antonio Cesaro. And I'll say that. He was better than the last 5 United States champion. And to me, Dean Ambrose will have an opportunity to come up there and reach for the brass and take the World Heavyweight Championship. Take the Money in the Bank World Heavyweight Championship briefcase. And it doesn't matter if the Shield is involved. And if they're involved, so what? Give the title to Dean Ambrose. He deserves it. Believe in Dean Ambrose and believe in the Shield. That's all I can say about that. Now, last but certainly not least, the All-Star. And to me, in my opinion, the Money in the Bank All-Star match should be the last match of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Because if you put the WWE Championship on last, WWE, everybody will slap you in the face if you do that, okay? Put the Money in the Bank All-Star ladder match last, because I guarantee you everyone is going to want to watch that match. I swear to God. Now let's look at the participants if you don't mind. Daniel Bryan, Kane, the Viper Randy Orton, Christian. Let's see, who else? Rob Van Dam. Let's see, who else? Sheamus. I'm missing somebody. There's one more person in there, isn't there? Let's see, we've covered everybody. We've covered Daniel Bryan, Kane, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Rob Van Dam, Christian. Well, there is one more, isn't there? Don't you hate it when you know all these superstars and there's always that one that comes out and is like, damn it, I forgot him. But anyways, nonetheless, that Money in the Bank ladder match right there, an all-star cast of all-star superstars in there to become the WWE champion. And I'll tell you something. A lot of people, and this is going to be a very, very mixed up show, especially when it comes to the superstars involved. Now, I think most people in their right mind, I extend my apologies to the best in the world, CM Punk. CM Punk, which, by the way, you guys know about the whole story with CM Punk and Paul Heyman. In my opinion, I think Paul Heyman is telling the truth, but at the same time, I know there's a little lie to it, just a little lie. I'm not going to go into that, but I'll go onto that in the near future. Now, let me talk about this Money in the Bank ladder match, if you don't mind. There's a lot of people that are going to pick CM Punk, obviously. But the reason why a lot of people are not going to pick CM Punk is because of one person in particular who may appear at the Money in the Bank ladder match, Brock Lesnar. I have a feeling he'll show up in that match. And let's see, Christian, former Money in the Bank, not former Money in the Bank winner, but he's also an individual that knows a lot about ladders. He's been involved in many ladder matches in his career, so he knows how it goes and so forth. Randy Orton, who has been in many ladder matches himself but has never won Money in the Bank, this may be his opportunity to win it this year. Kane, who had an opportunity, he was in the SmackDown Money in the Bank and won it, and at the same time cashed it in to become the World Heavyweight Champion when he defeated Rey Mysterio. I remember that one quite well. And let's see, who else am I missing? Daniel Bryan. He was also involved in Money in the Bank ladder match, and he had an opportunity to win it and become the World Heavyweight Champion. That was probably around 2000, I believe, 11, if I remember that correctly. Will this be... personally, I think a lot of people actually want Daniel Bryan to be the one to win it. Why? Because, and I heard this comment. Let's see if everybody remembers this. Vince McMahon says that Daniel Bryan he's not money. He ain't got anything. And when I read that comment, I said, oh my God. Vince McMahon must be really getting old, I swear to God. If you tell the main event, if you tell every single wrestling fan all across the world that Daniel Bryan is not worth money, I got news for you. Just look at the crowd. Listen to the chants. They're all saying yes, yes, yes. And you're going to tell me that Daniel Bryan is not worth money? I got news for you. Daniel Bryan is worth a whole lot more money than you think. And to me, in a lot of people's cases, they all want to see Daniel Bryan become Money in the Bank winner, and I hope he wins it. But everybody, including myself, and a big shout out to Mike Rod, who's watching this right now, who knows who he wants to win Money in the Bank. And I know everybody's been anticipating to see this man make his return. They want him to be the one to win Money in the Bank. I want him to win Money in the Bank. You want him to win Money in the Bank. ECW wants him to win Money in the Bank. Tommy Dreamer wants him to win Money in the Bank. Sabu wants him to win Money in the Bank. Even Rob Van Dam wants to win Money in the Bank. So I say, and the All-Stars, when the main event sees Rob Van Dam makes his return, when he comes down the aisle, when his music hits, everyone's going to see him do a 5-star frog splash here, a rolling thunder here, and it'll be 420 because someone's going to get their ass smoked. So I pick Rob Van Dam to win Money in the Bank on July 4th, Sunday on pay-per-view. That's going to do it for this edition of the Main Event Talk. And don't forget to check out Money in the Bank July 14th on pay-per-view. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, after Money in the Bank, it's going to be someone's birthday. Someone that calls himself the God among gods, the King among kings, the coolest son of a motherfucking bitch walking God's green earth. And he has a badass show called The Main Event Talk. And also, let's see, you can find him on Facebook, you can find him on Twitter, you can see his pics on Instagram. He's just one cool guy, and plus, he goes to this cool place called Theo's. He always drinks Michelob Ultras and takes shots of Bull Blasters. So when you get an opportunity on July 16th, wish him a happy birthday. Recommended by the Main Event. That's all you have to know. Oh, and also, don't forget, when you get an opportunity, guys, check this out, okay? Memories in a Broken Glass. The CD is out. Recode is in. I would say in stores now, but I'm not sure if it is. But just in case, go ahead to go to your local retail store and get your hands on this CD as soon as possible, okay? Recommended by the Main Event. That's all you have to know. Big shout out to Justin Garcia, who's probably watching this right now. boom, CDs selling like hotcakes, flying off the shelves. Órale. Don't forget to check out, like I said once again, check out all